Okay, welcome everybody to Treats and Eats with Krista and Jodi. We both should be pinned on your screen. I'll try to manage the pins so that whoever's cooking is big. So we all know that this is November, which is turkey month. So we're going to feature Thanksgiving recipes and show you how using like your food storage, your freeze-dried food can make Thanksgiving easier and sometimes even more delicious depending on what you're cooking. So we try to use this month's monthly specials from Thrive because that's kind of what we base our demos on. But there are going to be some things that we're going to feature that are not on the monthly specials just because we want to and because they're good for Thanksgiving, like cranberries. So you have to have cranberries. Are you going to hold up the cran? Oh, I thought you were going to hold up the cranberry. Cranberries, mine are too far away. They're back there. So we're going to feature a couple of those. We're going to try to rock and roll because we were going to do 6 recipes, but then we accidentally are going to do 8. So we're going to try to be fast and efficient. And if you see something we're cooking with that's not on sale, never fear because it might be on sale for Black Friday. So they're going to announce the sale items next week and they go on sale soon. So we'll give you information. So if you registered, you're going to get the replay. And we'll put all the details. Maybe by the time I get the replay done, the sale things will be out. So anyways, but anything we feature that's on the November specials will still be on sale for Black Friday. So definitely make sure you're on one of our lists or on the list of whoever invited you to the demo. We know we have a lot of team members who invite friends as well. So we're going to get started. So I'm going to make myself big. Krista, you're going to man the chat.
Yep.
How do I got to remove your pin. Sorry, guys. Zoom. I don't want to be a boomer, but I feel like I'm a boomer when the stuff changes on me. Okay. So the first one we're going to do is, sorry, life's short, so you start with dessert first, right? But actually, I'm starting with it because it cooks the longest. So I'm going to show you how to make pumpkin pie using Thrive. If you are on my meal in a jar list, this was my recipe that I sent out earlier this week. And so I'm going to show you how to do it live. So I'm going to show you how to do it in the jar and then how easy it is to make it into your actual recipe. So all it is, sugar's almost gone. It's 3/4 cup sugar. So some pumpkin pie uses brown sugar. This is like the recipe straight from Libby's can. So it uses white sugar. So that's what we got. And then your eggs for the pie are going to be Thrive scrambled egg mix, which is on sale. It's 2 eggs, which is 2 tablespoons per egg. So that gives you a 1/4 cup equivalent for eggs. And then we're going to do your spices. So whatever you like for pumpkin pie spice. It had a little bit of salt in it. We taste tested this and thought it might be a little salty. So we're going to do just a 1/4 teaspoon, which is what I put in the recipe. And then cinnamon, 1 teaspoon cinnamon. And you could take whatever like your favorite pumpkin pie recipes and then just substitute the things that you want to thrivalize. So we do that with all our recipes. Take regular recipes and turn them into Thrive recipes. So we got some ginger, 1/2 teaspoon. It's all your regular pumpkin pie spices. Just thought brown cloves. And the cool thing about this recipe is, oh man, why can't I open it? It's a brand new one. Nope, we're gonna use nutmeg instead. I wanted to try it with cloves today, but we're going nutmeg. Some recipes call for nutmeg, some call for ground cloves. It's all good. They're all just those pumpkin-y flavors. So the trick for this recipe is we're going to use instant milk. instead of evaporated milk. So the way to make it like equivalent to evaporated milk is the ratio. So the ratio is 1.5 cups of water to 1 cup of instant milk, which is much denser and like your regular, I think it's usually like 3 tablespoons of milk to 1 cup, or so this is like a really dense milk. So instead of having to buy a can of evaporated milk, I just put my instant milk in here, cup of instant milk. Okay, I put way too much. I think I put too much sugar. I'm awesome today. Okay, so live TV. You can use this and make it like a cute little gift, like a pumpkin pie mix. You can also just keep it on hand, like my son, when he saw I have pumpkin pie, he's like, I wish we could have pumpkin pie all the time. So there you go. You can have pumpkin pie anytime. It's super easy. So I took my water. So I did 1.5 cups. You should also have a little more water for the eggs, but when I tested this, it was a little bit runnier than I wanted. So I'm just doing about 1.5 cups exactly. And if you just whisk it, the powder milk gets a little plumpy. So I have a little immersion blender. What the heck's wrong with me today? There. And this just makes it really smooth. If you don't have a handheld blender or bay mix or whatever you want to call it, you can just do it in the actual blender. But I got to use my blender for something else later. So there's all my yummy pumpkin pie mixture. And then all I got to do is add the pumpkin. So just a can of pumpkin. So again, this is like pretty much a shelf-stable recipe if you make your pies from scratch. Which I did not make my crust from scratch, but pie crust is technically a shelf-stable food, like shortening and flour and salt and water. But I ain't gonna, nobody got time for that today, I tell you. Okay, so 1 can of pumpkin. Now here's the trick. The recipe says that it would make 1 deep dish pie crust, but I had 2 regular pie crusts and it pretty much filled both of those. So I don't know what kind of monster pie crusts they had for this recipe, but I'm going to show you what it makes. And depending on your pumpkin pie recipe, sometimes they are, yeah, this is a lot thicker than the one I did with a little extra water. Look at that. It's so good. Gorgeous pumpkin pie consistency. Some recipes have you bake your pie crusts first. Most of them seemed to have you fill them first. So I just baked them just a little bit because I don't like my crust to be gooey on the bottom. So I'm going to show you how much this makes. And make a mess. Guys, my kitchen always looks like it exploded after I do these demos. So I'm just going to go about half and half. Now see, now these crusts are thicker, different brand. I probably could make a hole, maybe a whole one in there, but I'm going to do 2 smaller ones. See, that would be too much for one. It's about right to make 2 small pies and then they don't take as long to cook. That's what I'm going with. So then my recipe says to cook for 15 minutes on high and then like 40 minutes at 350. So 425 first and then 350. So I'm going to throw them in the oven to get started. And then I'm going to start my second recipe. So we made dessert first. I'll show you it at the end. Yay! I'm going to start a timer for 15 minutes. Just kidding. Okay, next recipe we're going to do. I have to pull them up on my phone because I'm a dork. Is green bean casserole. And I had to do this one because it needs to cook a wee bit. So the thing I like about this one that you can make with Thrive is it's so easy because you're using freeze dried. So we're gonna use, and this one's actually on Thrive's website. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but I'm cutting it in half because we're gonna have to eat all this stuff again in a week, so maybe 2 weeks. So I'm not gonna make a huge batch tonight. I don't think anybody wants to eat green bean casserole at 9 p.m. So you're gonna put a cup of green beans and then pour water over it so that it starts refreshing. And this is what I'm gonna cook it in, so it's fine. I will drain it before, but I'm just gonna let them start refreshing. If you're commenting to me, I can't see them because I put my computer too far away. But Krista, if there's any questions, you can shout them out to me.
I got it.
Okay. There we go. And then we're also gonna have mushrooms. So the green beans are not on sale, but green bean casserole is Thanksgiving. So that's what we're going with. So it has a cup of mushrooms. So I'm gonna measure in here. Okay, so halving it is a half cup of mushrooms. The mushrooms are on sale. So I incorporated a sale item. Good job, me. And then onions, chopped onions, but you could use whatever onions you want. Typically, I feel like the chopped onions go on sale. So, or at least some onions go on sale. I'm gonna put that in here. And then I'm gonna cover that. And just give it a second to refresh as well. So the good thing about this stuff is when it's a casserole, it doesn't really matter. Like you can hydrate it first or you can kind of let it hydrate as it goes. So we're going to let these two just sit for just a second, then I'm gonna drain them and cook them up. So I'm gonna use my special butane stove. It turns on. It was not turning on earlier and I freaked out a little bit. And then we need some butter. I need a knife. 1 second. Live TV, live TV. So about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna throw it on here and melt it. By the time the butter melts, then my mushrooms and onions, they don't take very long to hydrate. So you don't have to worry too much about those. So this is going to, got 2 whisks at least. A lot of times I forget to bring all my utensils over.
How much onion did you say, Jodi?
I did 1 tablespoon.
Okay.
And also, I forgot garlic. So you can use Thrive garlic if you have it. If you don't, you can use regular garlic or you can buy other freeze-dried garlic. I'm gonna do 1/2 teaspoon. So remember, I'm halving this recipe. We're gonna make a small batch. I'm just gonna throw it in here.
My live studio audience would like to know how much mushrooms?
I will send out the recipes, but it was 1/2 cup of mushrooms.
That's what I thought. Okay.
So I'm going to drain them. And it doesn't matter if it's like super dry because they'll just keep hydrating. Then we're just going to saute them. All this yumminess. And if you don't like mushrooms, you can leave them. Oh, it smells good. Usually you have all the good smelling stuff, but now I need smell-o-vision for you. Okay, so all of that's gonna melt in with the butter. Then we're gonna add flour. And it is 2 tablespoons of flour. Okay. Sorry, kids are talking to me. 2 tablespoons of flour. So we're basically making a homemade brew. Now that those are sauteed in there. I got to turn down my heat a little. You can see it getting all mixed in. Oh, that smells so good. Turn it down a little bit. Now I got to add cream. So it's going to be half a cup of cream. Same. I'm using the same measuring cup, so I save on dishes. It's good, right? And then it's gonna need more. So it's cream and milk, so it's gonna use instant milk as well. So about 3/4. It's a half a cup, a little more than half a cup. That's actually perfect. Okay, so this plus the instant milk that I moved. So 2 tablespoons instant milk. Gonna throw it straight in. It doesn't matter. You could make it with the milk first or just throw it straight in. And then add the water. So you added cream and milk. So it's not just cream. And if you want it to be less fattening, you could just do more milk because our milk is non-fat. So then you have a nice white sauce. It's gonna keep, oh, you can't see it. It's gonna thicken up as we go. This also calls for a little bit of salt. So I'm gonna do a 1/4 teaspoon salt and then peppercorn. So you can actually fresh grind pepper, or I had it somewhere. Thrive used to have a peppercorn spice mix. I'm just gonna throw some of that in there. About half of a 1/4 teaspoon. So that'd be like a pinch or a dash or something. So we're gonna let that all thicken up. It's it's probably better. Like I've done the green bean soup with like cream of chicken soup. I'm gonna drain my green beans because they should be nice and soft now. I'm just gonna put it all together in this pot with the sauce. Should probably let it thicken a little bit, but I'm just gonna throw it in here and throw it in the oven because it'll keep thickening as it cooks. It's gonna look, it's gonna look really thick, really creamy because I'm not gonna wait till it thickens all the way. But it's a delicious, creamy green bean casserole. And then you top it with French fried onions. So I'm gonna top it and then heat it up with French fried onions after it thickens just a little bit more because I don't want to get it all soggy before it's done. So
That looks amazing.
yes, it smells really good. It's just, I probably should have let it thicken more before throwing it in here, but I'm gonna let it sit for a bit while you go, and then we'll show you at the end.
Okay, awesome. Can't wait.
There you go, yay.
Take it away. Okay, awesome. Now, where do I start? That was like a break for me. Woo.
I
Okay.
know, sorry, that took a lot for the first 2 recipes. The other ones are shorter, I promise. Mine are.
Yeah, we have some really fast recipes, like crazy, crazy fast. So I am going to preface my first recipe. So I actually just took a trip down to, I live in Arizona, right? I live in the desert. But I just took my mom down to South Georgia or Central Florida, and we went to go see some family and do some stuff. Long story short, we went to an impromptu family reunion, and we haven't seen these cousins in many, many eons of years, right? It's been a while. So, and they did the best Southern cooking spread I have had in a very, very long time. So if you can think of anything Southern, it was probably in their spread. So including a dressing, and it was a chicken and dressing like casserole thing. And so I talked to my cousin Carolyn, who is 91, 91, 92. She's 91, and she came out to see us, and she looks like she's 50. It's ridiculous. It's the Southern skin, and anyway. So she gave me this recipe, and this recipe came from, so she's 91, she's my cousin. She got this from her grandmother. Okay. So this recipe is 150 years old, at least. Okay. So I'm going to teach you how to thrivalize a 150-year-old recipe. Okay. So that's what we're doing on this first recipe. So I'm going to tilt my camera down, and in the South, every Southern woman, which raise your hand if you're from the South, you know your bacon biscuits or your bacon cornbread every single day, right? So, and it's just a staple. It's what they do. They serve it with every meal. So that's where we're going to start. And I pre-did some of this stuff because there's some prep work that you can do, but I'm going to still put it together, and it bakes for an hour and a half, which is why there's one in the oven. Okay. So we're going to get started on this 150-year-old recipe. Okay. So I got you can see that, right? You got my whole setup here. We're going to start with cornbread. Okay. This is half my cornbread. I did it in an 8x8. So all I'm going to do is crumple it up. And these are a couple biscuits left over because I tried to recreate our good Southern meal for family dinner on Sunday. So we're going to take this. Oh, I'm going to switch places. This is, and I wash my hands. Don't worry, live studio audience. You probably heard that. We're going to just crush it up, and we're going to crumble it. So this is some prep work that you can do the day before. You can actually do this 2 days before. It'll make your Thanksgiving so much faster. Okay. So we're just going to kind of crumble this up. I'm going to add the biscuits, crumble them up too. This is actually a stress reliever. Woohoo, just crumble it up. We're just going to crumble it up. Okay. So that's all we're doing with this. Okay. Oh, okay. So there's that set aside. We're going to set that aside. We're going to get some, this is actually, so this is on sale. This is freeze-dried sausage. And you can actually eat this straight out of the can. It's got all your seasonings in there, like a regular traditional sausage. And you can't eat it just straight out of the can. We've done trail mixes with the sausage. It's amazing. But here's the deal. These Southern casseroles, they have to be moist. Okay. So we are going to start out. Typically, I would throw this in my casserole just like this. But this recipe, I'm actually going to soak this for a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to take my sausage, and then I'm going to take my onions. I've got 3 different kinds of onions here. I've got chopped green onions, and oh, this is sliced. This is chopped. Okay. I love all of our onions. Okay. And this is why I chose this recipe, because I like all 3 onions. I don't want to stick to just one. So I'm actually going to put all 3 of these in my recipe, and I need probably, the recipe calls for 1 large onion. And so based on that, I'm going to put at least a half a cup of onions, and actually I'm going to put a little bit extra in, and I'll tell you why in a second. But I'm going to start with the finest onion first, which is our green onion, right? And I need to have half a cup. So I'm just going to kind of do that. Chopped her over here. Move this over so you can see what I'm doing. There's some chopped. And here's my sliced. Always take this guy out. Okay. Don't eat him. All right. And we're going to do a heaping scoop. Okay. All right. So we're going to stick that in here because we want those to be soft too. Okay. We'll throw him away. That goes back on. All right. I also want my celery. Okay. This is actually on sale. This is amazing. Although I think it just went out of stock, which point, some things go out of stock when they go on sale. This is why, if you're interested in shopping the Black Friday sale, you will want to know, you should shop early because things do come out. And I want to get really close to this because I want to show you this. Okay. So here's what's in my can. Can you see that? It looks just like celery, but here's the deal. I'm at the end of my can of celery, right? I'm actually putting all of this powder in my cup. Okay. Because here's the deal. It's chopped. It's celery. It's flavor. It's everything. It's going in my casserole. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to add a little bit of chicken broth to season, because I don't have to just use water. Water works, yes, but I want some flavor in there. I'm from the South originally, right? I've been in Arizona for 30 years, by the way. That's why I don't have an accent anymore. All right, so we're gonna put the broth in there and we're just gonna kind of grab a spoon. Probably need a spoon to stir it. But we want that sausage to be nice and moist so that the casserole doesn't have to do much work. Does that make sense? So, oh my gosh, this smells so good. If anybody in my studio audience would like to come smell this, take a whiff. Anyway, smell-o-vision, right? Does that not smell amazing? Yeah. Okay. So we are just going to let this get, so sometimes, which when you get in your kitchen and you start doing this on a regular basis, you will start knowing what things you need to let sit longer if you need them the regular consistency that sausage is, right? So for example, sausage. I know that I need to set this aside for a little while, probably 15, 20 minutes, which that's what we're going to do. We're going to let it just sit aside here. We're going to pat it down evenly and then we're going to let it sit. Okay, that is prepped. That's all the prep work that we have to do. I'm going to clean this off for just a minute here. Okay, next one, we're gonna make salsa. This is okay. When my sister found out I was making salsa tonight, she part of my studio audience is my niece, her daughter, stepdaughter, and she brought her container with her to take it back to her house. Yeah, I know you. So anyway, I'm going to show you. This is her favorite. Okay. This is going to be very quick. This is cranberries. These are amazing. They are one of my favorite things on the planet. I tried to get out of our CEO if these are going on sale or not, and he wouldn't tell me. But they were on sale last year, so I'm hoping and praying these are on sale. And they're a Thanksgiving item. They should be on the Black Friday sale. Cranberries. That is the regular recipe that I'm going to go ahead and put online for you guys is actually going to be 2 cups. I'm making a half a recipe because my sister didn't come. Green chilies. These are amazing. This is green onions and cilantro. A little bit of salt. A little bit of lemon juice. We are going to pour about a cup of water on here. We're going to stir it. Give it a nice stir. Secret ingredient, powdered sugar. All right. So that's done. You just put this in the refrigerator and you're supposed to let it chill for 2 hours. We're going to stick it in the freezer because we've got 15 minutes. Okay. Bye. Everybody has time to do that for Thanksgiving dinner. Just saying. It's awesome. Just you wait. I should. Okay. Last recipe that I'm doing right now. A nice fruity drink. Aren't you thirsty? I'm thirsty. Okay. We are not huge drinkers in my house. In fact, we're not even. So I'm going with the Blush sparkling cider. Okay. So, but let's thrive it up. Definitely, right? Oh, I need a thingy thingy. Yep, that guy. Ugh. Ugh. I got it. Ooh.
Did you buy champagne instead?
This is acting like champagne. I just spilled all over my counter. It's live TV, people. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do to make it a little thrivey and a little festive. Everyone who, if you've ever seen me, or if you've ever met me at a conference or whatever, You know I'm hiding the peaches because they're my favorite. Right? You know me and peaches. Like this is the can I opened the other day and it's almost gone. So I am just a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna just stick a few peaches. Take a knife. I'm
One
just
time
gonna
the peaches were 50% off. I may or may not have bought 2 cases of them. So I don't really need peaches for a while. I
I
don't know about
probably have 8 cases in my food storage. It's ridiculous how much I love peaches. Yeah. So, yeah. So there's my peaches. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do some cranberries. So to go back to this view, I put some ice and a little fancy thing, a little cranberry, a little peach. If you want strawberry, you can add strawberry. And that's all it takes. Ooh, I didn't spill. Check it out. Yay, isn't it pretty? So pretty. It's so pretty. I love it.
yummy. Yummy, yummy.
Little cranberry, little peach. I'm gonna put strawberries in this one. Because I love strawberries too. You can take a stir and stir it in. And that's literally Thanksgiving in a cup. So back to you, Jodi.
Oh, okay. I gotta pin myself again. Okay, here we go. Place pin. No, I'm big. Sorry, you have to watch me cleaning up and getting my whole next thing ready. Okay, so since we're talking about cranberries, did you know you can make your own cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving? Are you a chunky cranberry or a jelly cranberry person? You could put it in the chat, even though I can't really see it, but I'll look later. So what we're gonna do is this is kind of a combo. So it makes it kind of jellyish, but then you leave some cranberries to be kind of chunky. So you can sort of mix and match. And I had a bit of a crisis because my sugar, I used up most of my sugar. And then I was like, do I have any sugar upstairs? But luckily I have a bucket in my pantry. So we're okay on sugar. The day is saved. So we're gonna put, I know I just got my 3rd cup out. I left it over there. So this uses a combo of sugars. So you do 1/3 cup brown sugar and 2/3 cup white sugar. It's the holidays, so we don't worry if it's a lot of sugar. There's a lot of sugar in regular cranberry sauce too. Probably didn't know that. So that's 1/3 cup brown. We'll go 2/3 cup white. On my handy dandy stove. Someone asked in a comment where I got my stove. So this is a butane stove, which is safe to use indoors. I love it for emergency preparedness, but I also love it for my cooking demos. So it's gonna have 1 cup of water. So if you just search like butane stove on Amazon, you'll find one. Sometimes they'll come with a couple of butane canisters. So there's these little, they look like just cans. And they're also safe to store indoors. So if you have limitations on like how much propane and stuff you can store, you don't have to worry about that with the butane. So this is 2/3 cup orange juice, 1/3 cup water. And then I'm just going to heat it up. Stir it up. So it was a cup of sugar and a cup of water. That already sounds really good, right? And what's cool is we're going to just realized I should probably put a little more liquid. I'm gonna do like a 1/3 cup more of each. I'm not hydrating the cranberries first. A little more liquidy. So this recipe called for 12 ounces of cranberries, and I did some researching on the Google, and that is equivalent to 3 cups. Now, if you're talking like fluid ounces, it would be a 1.5, but the weight of 12 ounces of frozen cranberries is equivalent to 3 regular cups, or like 2.5 cups of chopped. And these are chopped and sliced beautiful cranberries. So I'm gonna throw in 2 cups, and probably about like a half a cup. 2.5. So they're going to hydrate in that yummy water sugar mixture. And this has to simmer. So the cranberries are gonna cook because they don't come cooked. So it's gonna simmer and kind of melt, not melt, but soften down into this recipe, or into like a jelly yumminess. So I'm gonna let that simmer. I'm gonna actually make my last recipe real quick, and then after Krista goes, I'll come back and just show everything that is done cooking. So I'm gonna slide that up here. Pull it down, let it simmer. So it does have to simmer about 10 or 15 minutes. So hopefully it'll be done by the time the show's over, but you'll at least get an idea for what it looks like. So you can see it in there. And if you want to, like I said, so you can even use like that immersion blender and make it really jelly and pure, or if you like it chunky, then you can kind of leave it chunkier, but it'll almost be like when you make homemade jelly using freeze-dried food. Okay, so the last one I'm gonna make is another drink. Yay. But I forgot to grab my blender. 1 second. I don't think I can ever get paid to do cooking demos because I'm a bit of a scatterbrain with them. But we're always trying to cook so many items that it's hard to keep track of it all in my head. So this is a favorite drink recipe for the holidays. Can anybody guess what it is with these 2 ingredients that are on sale? Instant milk and scrambled egg mix. Any guesses? We've made it before, maybe like last Christmas. Yay! She got it. Eggnog. I can't read your name, but I could read eggnog. So we're gonna make homemade eggnog. It actually tastes kind of like horchata, because my son thought I made. And I fill it up. My son thought I made horchata because he found the picture in the fridge and he was so excited when he heard I was making this again. So we're gonna mix 4 cups of water and a cup of ice. I'll get that in a second. And then we add 1 cup of milk plus a third. It's very scientific. I actually, if you go back and watch, and I can link to this, I think it was our Christmas episode last year. We made this like little gift in a jar, and we did the eggnog mix too. It was so good. So you can do it in a jar, or you can just make it. If you do it in a jar, you can make like a single serving and just have it in a cup, or like a shaker cup, and just shake it up. Calls for vanilla. So if you do it in a jar, you need to have a vanilla powder. Tribe used to have one, they don't anymore. Sad day. But you can buy vanilla powder, I think, on Amazon. Or you can also just use vanilla liquid as you're making it. But I like their vanilla powder. Makes it yummy. Stupid oxygen of that in there. And then nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon. So again, it's kind of all the same fall spices. My house smells like one of those yummy candles right now. It's good food cooking.
You got cinnamon, half a teaspoon. So the quarter teaspoon nutmeg, half teaspoon cinnamon. Some people said you can like spike this and make it alcoholic eggnog, but I just make it yummy eggnog. Cause it's yummy. Third cup of sugar. Again, this is not the diet month. In January, maybe we'll do a healthy food episode. After we fatten you all up for the holidays. It's terrible. It's so terrible. And then it has egg mix. So 6 tablespoons of egg mix. So that's equivalent to 3 eggs. So it's a quarter cup and then half of a quarter cup. Doesn't have to be super exact. And then I'm gonna grab some ice cubes. Live TV. I probably should have put those in the bottom. See what we get. Usually I would do that in a little different order, but that's okay. So I'm gonna do drink. Almost spilling out the top. And my cranberry sauce is getting nice and I'm gonna turn it down even more. So this is good. It almost is too much for this blender. Not gonna lie. Could have probably done a little bit less. Or like a little less water because you're putting in a cup of ice, but delicious homemade eggnog. So once he sees this in the fridge, my James gets super excited. And you can top it off in your cup. Should have brought the fancy cup. I'll plate it at the end with yummy whipped topping and like a little sprinkle of cinnamon on top. And you got your delicious other holiday drink. So you can go something fruity with the cranberry and peach or something savory with your eggnog. Those are all mine. So next time I come back, I'll show you all the cooked stuff. So Krista, you're up.
Okay, awesome. I am going to do one more prep thing for the dressing. Okay, so this is my cornbread and biscuit, and this is my sausage. I want you to get a good look at that, right? So that's what it really looks like when it's all nice and happy and reconstituted or refreshed, right? So we are just going to pour this in together with my dried cornbread and biscuit. Okay. So we're going to mix this together. We're going to add a little bit of poultry seasoning because you could actually make this casserole with your leftover traditional dressing and your turkey. This is a great one for that. So it, with your leftover turkey, what do you do with it, right? I don't want to make turkey noodle soup ever again. I've had enough of that, right? So this is actually a good recipe that you could use for those leftovers. But we decided to put sausage in this one because number one, it's on sale, right? So what else can you do? What can you do? You could do this one anytime during the year, right? We're going to put a little bit more seasoning on there. It says 2 tablespoons, and I cut this recipe in half so that I could make it and have it ready for this little thing, right? So I put about 1 tablespoon in this version. So we want to get it really good and mixed. And then we're going to add chicken bouillon. Got some chicken bouillon sitting here ready to go. This is about 2 cups. Again, this is halved, but you kind of wing it. Okay. That must be why I wing things, because I'm Southern. I just light bulb. Okay. I'm a big winger of stuff. I'm going to pour at least over half. Huh? I eyeball so much, but in the South, that's what you have to do because sometimes you have things, sometimes you don't. and you have to wing it a lot. So, but we just poured that chicken bouillon in here, and I'm kind of looking for how much liquid I've got on the bottom. And there's not a whole lot, but you want it to be all nice and like you can press it down in a pan, right? So we're gonna just put kind of the rest of it. We're gonna not do all of it. We're just gonna keep adding. We don't want it soupy, but I want it like the consistency of like a casserole before you bake it. That makes sense, right? Oh gosh. At least I tell everyone I am so not a professional cook person. On TV, I don't know the language, I don't know, but you kind of want to make sure that it mushes together. Do you see how that mushed together? That's kind of the consistency that I'm looking for, okay? All right, so this is gonna sit one more time, okay? So I think I'm done there, okay? Last thing I'm gonna cook is mashed potatoes. Now, can I just say something? Anybody have a problem peeling potatoes at Thanksgiving and it takes like 2 hours to do, and somebody slices their finger open and all of the things, right? You never have to do that anymore. This is awesome. This is awesome. Okay, mashed potatoes. All right, so we're going to start with another thing that's on sale right now, milk. Okay. Jodi used a couple of things and used milk in a couple of her things. She did the powder thing with the pie and all the good stuff, right? So I'm going to just talk about reconstituting milk for just 1 minute because a lot of people have questions about this. And yes, there are directions on the can. In fact, I'm going to grab my glasses and I'll read to you what it says. It says, combine milk powder and water to make delicious instant milk. I love that they put delicious instant milk. Once reconstituted, refrigerated to retain freshness.
It is actually delicious instant milk. I have taste tested a lot of powdered milks.
It is.
This is the one that I can actually drink, and I
Right?
can sneak into my kids' food and they don't know.
Exactly. And I'm not a milk person, so I have to have a brownie or a chocolate chip cookie to drink milk. Okay. But I will, I do milk on my cereal, but I'm not one to go grab a glass of milk. That's just not my style. I don't like it. But I will use this for a brownie and chocolate chip cookie any day and twice on Sunday. Okay. So my mom is a great proponent of this guy. She loves milk. She will go get a glass of milk and she loves it. Okay. So I'm gonna make this recipe calls for, okay, let me go back to the mashed potatoes. This is easy. Bring 1¼ cup of water or milk to a simmer. Add 1 cup mashed potatoes, add butter and seasoning if desired. Whisk it and you're done. That's basically all the directions say. So we're going to start with milk. I've got my handy dandy blender bottle right here, right? So I've got my 1¼ cup of water, but I want milk because I like my potatoes creamy. So I'm going to take my milk, and it says 3 tablespoons for a cup, right? That is to do regular 2%. And there's 1¼ cups of milk of water, right? So that's a little over a cup. So I'm gonna do at least. So I like my milk thicker. I like it whole. I like it fatty. It's not fat, but anyway. And Jodi already explained to us that, hey, you just add a little bit more, right? So I'm gonna do heaping teaspoons, okay, in my milk. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Yes, I'm from the South. Does that count? Okay, so that is what I'm gonna do in my milk. And we are going to shake this up. Blender bottle. Okay, normally I would throw this in the fridge, right? And let it get cold, but I'm putting it on a stove. So we're gonna put it on the stove. Hear that dry sizzle? Because I tried to get my pan going beforehand. So we're gonna let that boil. And then I have my butter, my salt ready to go, and my mashed potatoes, okay? And I need a whisk as well. Got the whisk. I don't want it to burn, obviously. But we're gonna get that going here. I think I'm good. Thank you though. Okay, so these are fabulous. Now, I'm just doing a plain recipe for y'all, but you can add freeze-dried onions to that. You can add some garlic. You can add whatever it is you want. You can add, a lot of people add cream cheese to their potatoes. I've actually never done that, but I would love to try that one day. But yeah, to your heart's content. And the great thing about this is that if your potatoes start getting really thick, add some more water, add some more milk, do whatever you need to do to make it the consistency that you and your family likes, right? So I'm going to take
And
the
do
stuff,
like bacon and cheese and make it like a loaded mashed potatoes.
right? Okay, so we are boiling. Woo, we are totally boiling. Which is fine. I'll just bring this over here. Turn that off so y'all can see. Bring this back. Live TV, people. It's live TV. I'm going to put my butter in now so it can start melting. And my salt, because I'm weird like that. I like to put that in the liquid so it distributes evenly, and then I'll throw in my mashed potatoes. Anybody else do that? All right, now it's a little foamy only because I shook it in my blender bottle, just so you know. If you were pulling this out of the fridge, it wouldn't be as foamy. And I'm just going to whisk this in. You can add chives. That's what I'll do at the end, actually. If it's too runny, you just add a little more potato. All right, so I need a little bit more water. I actually have some right here. I'm going to add a little bit more. And maybe a little bit more. But this is why we do this, right? This is right. This is exactly why we do this. But you guys might like it better. That's weird. Hold on. You guys still there? Okay. All right, now it's coming to what I want it to be. I'm gonna get just a tad more water. You can add bouillon. Yeah.
Katie said sprinkle some sausage, crumbles and cheddar cheese.
Ooh. Yes, that would be good. Sausage and cheddar cheese. Absolutely. I would actually add that cheddar cheese to the milk when it's on the stove. So it can melt as this is reconstituting. Okay, that is the consistency that I'm looking for. Okay, any questions? No KitchenAid needed, no accidents in the kitchen. It's kind of pretty amazing. Okay. All right. I am just about done. I will come back one more time with everything finished so you can see everything done. Back to you, Jodi. I feel like the weather girl.
Right? Here we go. Okay, I'm just plating my stuff, but you're gonna have to be patient because I gotta get the others out of the oven. So here's I got a pretty cup for my eggnog. Yummy, yummy. My whipped cream fell over. It's so good. I got on my nose. I like it because it's not, sometimes eggnog is like a little bit thick for me. I'm weird. Okay, so the cranberry sauce, my pan kept turning off on me. It was being stupid. So this is it. I did blend it up a little bit. You could like go puree all the way if you don't like it that way. I think I probably would use a little bit less water. Remember how I added extra, but I think if you don't want it as runny, just let it hydrate in all of that goodness. It would be so good. So I actually like it to be a little gooey, but it's probably a little more liquidy than I would want to pour on my turkey, but it's delicious. I didn't taste it yet. Well, I licked my finger a little bit. So my pumpkin pies, they're still going, but I will show you the start of them. So they do puff up a little bit, but they're still jiggly. But see, I did, like, that's still a good sized pie. It would have been like overflowing if I just did one pie for that whole recipe. So I think it's good to do it as two. I'm gonna let those keep cooking just a little bit. But I did. That pie just fell in the oven. Oh, that was awesome. I made this earlier, so it's legit. It's real pumpkin pie, guys. It tastes just normal. It has powdered eggs. It has powdered milk instead of evaporated milk. My family's always surprised, even after 15 years of cooking with food storage, that gotta take a picture of this. On my blog, I always post my fails. Guys, I just did the ultimate Thanksgiving fail. Look at that. There goes one of my pies. I did that with pumpkin cake. I literally, if you search on my blog, Food Storage Made Easy for pumpkin cake, I have a whole picture of the cake on the floor too. So let me see. I'm gonna pull out the green bean casserole. You're gonna have to see my messy stove. I don't even know how I'm gonna clean that up, and I'm so tired. It's awesome. Okay. On the other side, added, I don't know how I did that. The French fried onions to the top. You got all the yummy creaminess inside. I'll grab a spoon. Probably a little bit more liquidy than ones I've seen, but you can adjust the liquid to your liking. That looks like a gooey, creamy, delicious mess, and I don't even really like mushrooms or green beans all that much, but I think I would like this with all the cream in it. So that is that, guys. I'm going to turn it back to Krista and try to figure out how to get this pie out of my oven. I don't know if she even saw that, but it's completely upside down all over my oven. It's okay. I still have one pie in there. So it's all
I
good.
heard the whole thing and saw the pie. I'm so sorry. Sorry.
I like this idea. What did she say? Turn the oven off, scoop out what I can, and let it wait till tomorrow. That sounds like a good idea. I usually let the rest of my kitchen wait till tomorrow, but I don't know. Oh my gosh. Okay, are you ready to show yours, Krista? We're almost at 1 hour, but we started a
Sure.
little late.
Yep, I am ready.
All right, I'm gonna pin back to you and try to work on this mess.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so I'm just finishing up my other dish here. Okay. So you know me, I have to be a little fancy here. So I'm gonna tilt my screen so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Get another this and this. All right, so here's my cranberry salsa. It is chilled. And I think that the top, oh, yeah, see, epic fail. I failed too. My cranberries are frozen. Yeah, my live studio audience is laughing at me. Okay, so here's cream cheese. Okay, cream cheese, and we are going to just kind of spoon this over like so. Okay, I'm going to top it with a little bit of chive. There we go. And then we've got crackers. You can do your favorite cracker. I'm just doing Ritz because they were in my cupboard. Right? And they're really good. Right. Exactly. So there we go. There is that ready to go. And then we have our stuffing dressing with a side of mashed potatoes ready to go. And we've got our drink ready to go. All right. Cheers. Right? Cheers, everyone. Everyone's ready to eat here. I don't know about y'all, but Yeah, they're coming at me.
So I
So
hope you guys can learn that even if you screw up like us, you can still cook with this, and it's easy. If we can do it with our sub-professional cooking skills, anybody can do it.
it's all good. It's all good. It is very easy and it actually makes your life a little bit easier. Thrive does. Thrive is amazing because I don't have to chop onions and celery and it cut the prep work in half at least. It was awesome. So I hope you guys
Like almost a whole Thanksgiving dinner
yeah,
in an
between the two
hour, guys. Like for
now,
real.
yeah.
We just
So
didn't make the turkey. That's it.
right, we
We
just
could have made an easy gravy with Thrive too. So
You make it fun.
oh my studio audience says we make it fun, you and I, Jody. We make
because
it funny.
we still pies in our oven. Oh. Anyways, thank you all for being on live. If you're watching
Yes.
the replay, I won't cut out the dropping of the pie, even though I want to in the oven.
And just so everybody knows, the sale items, knowing what's on sale on the 22nd for the Black Friday sale is coming out on Thursday. So we'll know.
Oh,
So
good.
we'll get it out to you.
So I'll try to put the link to the full sale flyer when I send out the replay. I got to edit it and stuff. And I'm going to be cleaning my oven all day tomorrow, apparently. So give me a couple days to get it out, folks. And then, yeah, sale starts soon. So you can put together your shopping list. The best way to shop is through the delivery service so you can get free shipping. If you have questions about that, let us know and we'll help you get it set up. It's super easy and you don't have to keep buying the same thing every month. Like I just put in what's on sale and buy that every month. And I get free shipping. It's the best way to shop. It's easy. And my food storage budget hasn't gone up the way my grocery budget has because I'm still using stuff from 10 years ago. The blue cans, we always talk about this. If you have the colored cans, you bought this 10 years ago at those prices instead of today's prices. So just continuing to restock at that budget is really good. And then I stock up extra when it's the sale. So we'll send you details. I think I got all the questions.
Okay. I think I did too.
Somebody asked if you could do vanilla sugar. I don't know what vanilla sugar is.
You can. You can use vanilla sugar just like regular sugar. I do,
Oh.
unless you just don't add as much vanilla.
Cool.
Vanilla sugar a lot. So, but yes, you can use vanilla sugar if you so choose. I'm one of those gals who there's never enough vanilla.
For sure.
And I'm usually licking the spoon.
And I will try to link to our last year's December episode if you want to do any of these as gift ideas and plan ahead. But we probably will do more gift ideas this December too. So just stay tuned next month. But if you want to get a jump on it or see, like we had the cute labels with like funny sayings on them with the eggnog and some hot cocoa and wassail. I think we did some fun ones last year. So we'll send that out. But thanks again, ladies.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you next month. I'm going to be in a sling next month for our show. So unless we do it early, I don't know. I got to have surgery. Oh boy. All right. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.